Hey everyone, Mr. Happy here, and in this video we're going to be going over all of the server update related news that just came out for Final Fantasy XIV. As I'm sure many of you are abundantly aware, we've been having a little bit of congestion issues with Final Fantasy XIV with no way of actually solving it. It's been explained time and time again, a global semiconductor shortage has led to issues obtaining new hardware. They've been trying for months and months and months, and they were just unsuccessful, and then we were promised we'd get an update sometime in the middle of January. And we have received that update, and there's a lot of details to go over. So I'm going to get started with that, but if you need a source, check the description. It'll have all the posts we're going to be going over today. So first and foremost, this post on the load zone starts with all the usual from Yoshi P. Every message in the past month has started with, we launched December 7th, it was super congested, I apologize, I know it's been a huge inconvenience, don't worry Yoshi P, we understand, and we're just waiting to see what all the exciting news is, and oh boy, is there a decent bit of news. The opening of the Oceanian Datacenter, recommencement of the Homeworld Transfer Service, launching of the Datacenter Travel System, the expansions of Japanese, North American, and European data centers, the resumption of digital sales for new players, and a few last notes from Yoshi P himself. Now, the first bit of news is some follow-up to some announcements we got last year. We were told there was actually going to be an OCE Datacenter opening up after years and years and years of people asking for it. It's finally going to be happening officially Tuesday, January 25th. Yes, that soon, there's going to be an OCE data center. This is something that was in the works for years prior to everything that's been happening to the global semiconductor shortage. So they have secured the hardware, they have secured the floor space, and they have secured a Tuesday, January 25th, 2022 release. Now with that, they're going to be adding 5 new worlds. Initially, they planned on just doing 3 and then doing 2 more later, but they're like, listen, we think we've learned our lesson here. Let's just do the 5 that we can do in total right from the start. So anyone who wants to transfer to the Oceania data center, there should be more than enough space. Now there is another post detailing all of the stuff that any player who transfers to Oceania will receive. And I myself will likely be creating a new character there as a celebration to the opening of the new data center. So plan on joining my Aussie friends at least for a little bit. And trust me, some of you will be doing the same after we go over the other post. But we'll go over that in another one. Welcome to Final Fantasy XIV. I mean, I know I've been playing with Aussies and people from that area for years, but welcome all the same, I guess, if you've been waiting for it. Recommencement of the Homeworld Transfer Service. So this is actually going to be opening up on Wednesday, January 26th, the day after the OCE data centers open up. The reason is very simple. Nobody can go to the Oceania data centers if there's no Homeworld Transfer Service. So they're actually opening it up, but they're not just opening it up to the Oceania data center. They are also opening it up to all players on all data centers. So you will be able to transfer to another server again in just a couple of weeks. So if you want to change Homeworld, go do so, unless of course a server is considered too congested. So Gilgamesh, probably not going to be accepting anyone new. Guess I'll stay over there for the time being. They also, again, go over the details for transferring to a new world. We'll go over that. Again, there's a whole separate post for that, but that's going to be continuing as well in just a couple of weeks. Datacenter Travel. Honestly, I was not even expecting news about this because honestly, I don't even know if we can think about it too seriously. And it seems like they are taking the high road with this one because it is now being planned for 6.1x. That is at least late March to early April before we will see this. And since it's 0.1x, it probably wouldn't be on a major patch release. You'd probably see it in a 6.12, somewhere away from the ultimate release, away from any other housing related releases, things along those lines. Now players will be able to visit worlds in other logical data centers within the same physical data center. That means North American players can visit any North American data center. They cannot visit Europe or Japan, and that goes for Oceania, and that goes for the other regions as well. They can basically only travel between all of the worlds and all of the data centers within their particular cluster. Now, they will potentially add cross-travel in the future, cross-region travel in the future. Originally, we were told this would be possible and that they were going to do it, but they want to see a few things. They're going to be analyzing how players react to the initial opening of the data centers, see how it impacts the various worlds, and then make that decision from there. You have to remember with Datacenter Travel, as it states here, it's not initiated while you're logged into the game. It's initiated from character select screen, much like changing your actual data center would be. So the way the game takes that is it takes your character information, basically lifts it up from where it was and puts it someplace new. It's not the same as the actual world travel we have in the game right now. For that reason, there is no reason that you can't actually go to another region, as they've stated right here. There's just other things keeping them from doing it for the time being. Now, they go over a bunch of stuff here, that there will be more restrictions, mostly in the form of free company chat and cross-world link shell restrictions. They can't track that. You just won't be able to use your free company or cross-world link shells, or link shells, I suppose, in general, while you're there. I'd imagine, I wonder if you can be invited to a link shell on another data center, because they don't actually make any mention of that, but I'm going to assume not, since they already don't work when you travel to other servers within your own data center. However, thank goodness they took the time to make this confirmation so I can stop answering this question every day that somebody asks about this. There are no other restrictions other than those things. You can undertake quests, form parties, use the duty finder. You can play the game as usual. So, yes, you can savage raid, you can ultimate, you could just do maps, you could do whatever you want on another data center. You just won't have as many communication options, and whatever other restrictions are normally in place for world travel will also be there. Probably no retainer. Actually, it doesn't even say that, but I'd assume no retainers. You can use market board, you can trade, you can do stuff like that. Whew, thank goodness, because everyone keeps asking me. I keep saying that they've been vague, but they're implying yes. Hard yes right there. However, you can't, oh, actually it says right here, you can't join a free company or link shell. Doesn't matter. So you'd need to transfer your home world, which fortunately is opening up again. We think the system will otherwise provide an enjoyable experience. We ask for your patience just a little bit longer. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be, late spring, early summer by the time we actually end up getting this. Now, the expansion of the Japanese data center. So, Japan, welcome to the rest of the world, because NA has had its data center split. EU has had its data center split. Japan, it's your turn. Japan is going to be going from 3 data centers to 4 data centers. The number of worlds will be completely unchanged, but it will raise the overall capacity of logins encompassing all worlds, so it should provide a great stability boost. They're going to be changing it from a configuration of 1 data center with 10 servers and 2 with 11 each, to a 4 logical data center configuration of 8, 8, 8, and 8. Math doesn't check out. Did they say they were adding a world? Situation of 10, 11 worlds being handled. Oh no, my math is just bad. Never mind. They were right. I just can't do math. That's all it is. That's why we don't do math on in video recordings. Anyway, they're going to be doing that. They talk about a bunch of the particular details right here. But the big thing is, this change won't be taking place till July 2022. So you still have quite some time. And the next ultimate tier should be relatively safe from a split, as long as you get it done in the first few months. So, because July 2022 is about late July is when I would have predicted 6.2 would be coming out. Late July, early August. So, looks like this will be just before then. So you may want to keep that in mind if you've got plans for 6.2 and onward. You said they know it's an inconvenience, but it'll be better in the long run. As for North America, they are planning a 2-phase major server expansion. The first phase will be in August 2022, with the second phase in the spring or summer of 2023. This is again because of the global semiconductor shortage. They just can't get enough parts to do it any sooner than these times. So yes, if we have congestion ongoing, we will have it for quite some time. So please be ready for future updates, patches, and consider figuring out solutions to that now before you have to actually deal with it. So we are going to be getting 1 new logical data center and 4 new worlds in August. And then next year, they will add 4 more worlds under that new data center for another configuration of 8, 8, 8, and 8. They are even considering even more in terms of upgrades when they get to 7.0. And this is something that is only said in the North American section of this entire post. So we clearly had quite some issues, and it seems like they think we need a little bit of extra attention. We are quite voracious, Yoshi-P. I apologize. So that's what the plan is for North America, but it will not solve any of our issues short term, so please just get used to the way it is now and try to find ways to make it a little bit more bearable. Or just go play Monster Hunter Rise. That seems to have helped the queues a ton, and there are no queues in Monster Hunter Rise. That's a good plan. Expansion of the European data centers, basically getting a similar plan to North America. Total of 4 new worlds will be added, 2 under each logical data center presently housed. In the second phase, they will add 1 new logical data center with 8 new worlds, giving them also an 8-8-8 configuration. Trying to go for that clean 8 because it gives them better ability to handle the influx of players with the hardware they actually have. So Europe getting a total of 10? A total of 4 new worlds. A total of 12 new servers in the next year, with one new data center being among them. So please look forward to that as well. That'll be happening also July 2022 and then summer of 2023. Now also, the resumption of sales, because guess what? If they're going to open up Oceania, it'd be a real shame if nobody could buy the game. So the game will return being available for digital sale on January 25th, 2022 at 5 p.m. Japan Standard Time. Again, they list the reasons. They're opening the Oceanian data center. They have the capacity, so they can do it. They want to provide a suitable environment for new players there, and the playtime and login frequency is steadily returning to normal levels. Again, Monster Hunter Rise, day it came out, queues on Gilgamesh plummeted, so that was definitely a plus as far as I'm concerned. Now, that's not to say they won't turn off digital sales. They even say here, we have to assume it's the norm. If something bad happens, if the servers are being punished, they will shut it off again. But we will be getting it back in just a couple of weeks, so you can soon tell your friends to purchase the critically acclaimed MMORPG Final Fantasy XIV. What you cannot do right away is tell them to sign up for the free trial. They are not returning that right away. They're going to monitor server stability first, because if the servers are still at capacity, the free trial players can't even log in. So it doesn't make sense to open it back up just yet. So they'll have to wait a little bit longer. So that's that, I suppose. Now, in the final notes we have here, I mean, another apology. It was a huge inconvenience. We're trying to alleviate the issue. Despite these hardships, we're really trying our best. We want to make sure this has long-term benefits. We're doing our utmost to ensure this endeavor has no negative impact on your ability to play, and expanding a vast amount of financial resources and manpower. So please continue your support and continue on your adventures. And as a little reminder, in case you missed this news, we will be getting our first peek into patch 6.1 very, very soon. So they're working on job adjustments for 6.08, as we heard recently, but end of February, we'll get our first peek at patch 6.1. And I'll be making a video going over the things you can expect to see in that live letter, details we already know about 6.1, and then I'm sure we'll get a few surprises along the way. Now, normally this is where I'd wrap up the video, but there were 2 other posts on the lodestone. Heck, maybe there's another one by this point. One of them was just the recommencement of the Homeworld Transfer Service, news that we already saw, this more localized to the North American time zones with 10 p.m. Pacific on January 25th. That's just a reminder of that. Nothing really to go over here. But then the bonuses for playing on the Oceania Data Center. So here we go. The Oceania Data Center will be called Materia, and we'll have 5 worlds: Bismarck, Ravana, Sephiroth, Sophia, and Zervan. All Heavensward primals. And I like most of those primals as well. Hoping to see 1 or 2 of them in an Unreal. Now, creating a character will come with some benefits. On top of course, transferring there will be providing some benefits. So please note the ability to use the Homeworld Transfer Service will be continuing. Creating a character on a newly established world will grant the bonuses outlined below. So first and foremost, character created on a new world. Double EXP, that is the Road to 80 buff is what it will be called. That will last until you're level 80. Now, there are a bunch of rules to that normally that aren't listed here, such as it lasting a certain amount of time or 90 days. While that's not listed here, I'm going to assume that's still in place, the usual bonuses we would receive. You also get 10 silver chocobo feathers, which you can exchange for low mid-level gear to improve the leveling experience. Honestly, tomestones are normally enough, but it helps having these. Just lets you buy some gear at like 50 or 60 or whenever you need it. Now, if you get to level 30 on any class, you get 1,000,000 gil, limited to once per service account, not per character, and you're given 15 days of free playtime, also limited to once per service account when creating it on one of these new or preferred worlds. So I have never done that, and thus I will probably do that. Yeah, if you haven't done it, might as well. It's 2 weeks free. Why not, right? On top of that, if you transfer to a new world, the Homeworld Transfer Service is free of charge. You get that double EXP. So here we go. Valid for 90 days after the following transfer. That says it's newly added, but it's not. So I guess it's just something's different about Oceania with this. I'm definitely going to have to look for some more clarification about that. You get 10 gold chocobo feathers, which have special rewards such as rare mounts. And apparently, if you actually own a house on a server that you're transferring from, you can get a little bit of that money back when you actually go to do the transfer. So what you have to do is, if you have a private estate or an apartment, do not relinquish the land, do not vacate the apartment. Remove all the furnishings, your estate hall, and then apply for a Homeworld transfer. Upon getting to your destined location, you will be able to receive the gil. So just don't actually get rid of the land, or you will not get the compensation. Now, these will remain in place until active player populations of the world in question have grown to a specified number. They will not tell us that number until it is already gone. So don't just wait for them to be like, tomorrow we're fixing it. No, they'll find out after the fact. Now, they also, of course, have the sale of plots and apartments. This will be available in patch 6.1. So you will not be able to buy houses or apartments right away until when Ishgard comes out, essentially. Players will not be able to travel to the residential districts with the exception of the first ward of the Imperium, which will be open for display only, as it is right now. As such, you will not be able to progress or complete the following quests until the sale of plots begins in 6.1, Where the Heart Is, Mist Goblet, Lavender Beds, and I Dream of Shirogane. I myself will be making a character on the Oceania data centers. Even if I wasn't getting the 15 free days, I might as well, right? It's something to celebrate. It's something that has been waited on for a very long time. And I think it'll be fun playing with the people who are going to be starting up over there. Hopefully it's not a disaster. Just got to figure out which server I'm actually going to be starting on. Anyway, that's going to be a wrap for all the news. It was quite the news-packed day, and we're not even through everything yet. Don't forget, we got patch 6.08 with those balance changes coming out, and with that, a ton of content on the channel. We're just waiting on those last balance changes before we recommence the Versus series here on my YouTube channel. With that, thank you for watching. Be sure to like, favorite, subscribe, and share, and stay tuned for everything Final Fantasy XIV. Until next time, y'all have a good one. Take care.